Alrighty. Hey, everybody. Looks like it's going to be session 3 of Westward's Dead Reckoning. Our crew has changed yet again, it appears. Woo-hoo-ha. Spaz is MIA. I do believe his computer's having issues, so he's not with us right now. Chris, who was playing Sinclair, has got a new job and his hours are conflicted, so the nights we play aren't to his best advantage. Sadly, the majority rules, and the 4 people that are currently playing are cool with Wednesdays, so here we are. That being said, I would like to welcome 2 people. First off is Demigod Art. He used to be with us in Chris's Strahd's game, and he's going to be taking over the Mad Mark character. He's going to be playing a mech operator named Rusty. So, hello, Demi.
It's a pleasure to be here, James. Whoa, what a busy audience, yeah.
And next up is one Flower Nue.
I hate you. I still hate you.
Hate me all you want. Florar Nui. In case y'all watched our D-List Heroes, he was playing Tripwire. He's new to the Blades and Blasters site, but he shows promise so far, so give him a shot.
It's also Cheryl in Hornmaster recently.
Ah, rock on. Well, we welcome you to
nuts.
Cheryl the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Ooh. But we want to welcome you, and he's going to be playing the part of Mad Max, which is the bionic sniper point man type character. And of course, you have Ghost as
Dicky Fumbles, you know me.
And our lovable Zypher as
Zeke, at your service.
You thought he was going to say Captain Curry.
For a moment.
Alrighty. For those of you, we will go ahead and move to our world map. I changed the songs up a little bit, so the soundtrack might be a little different. Go ahead and move you to our world map first. Show the newbies. This is the world of Westward. If you watched or listened to the history, people were leaving Earth to try and colonize new planets. One such endeavor was a ship called the Chrysalis. It used a new warp engine to try and travel very, very far, very, very fast. It initiated wormhole travel and managed to travel quite a ways, but upon exiting its wormhole, the engines blew. It drifted for space and eventually found a planet that they landed on. They found it here in Capital City. In the past 340 years, people have taken what tech they could salvage off of their colony ship and branched out and fought for survival. Our game itself is going to be taking place out in the extreme borderlands, the frontier, and the borderlands to the Badlands. Y'all are part of Harry Doyle's gang. Y'all are currently holed up in the Badlands south of Fort Spine, roughly about here. Town of Mercy y'all will be investigating will be around here. And that is the world of Westward. We will now move you to our normal starting hangout. This is where we will shoot the shit and play catch up on our previous adventure. You notice the saloon and Harry Doyle's gang. Harry being up here. As to Harry Doyle himself, if you've watched the previous episodes, he's kind of an outlaw with a mysterious past. Some say he was once a marshal. Others say that maybe he was even a soldier of some known renown. But regardless of the fact, he currently goes around the Badlands hunting, robbing, and killing. Not really a Robin Hood style. He's pretty much a selfish, cold-hard man. He has his entourage of people, if you want to read about him. Then you have your players down here. We have Demigod's character, Rusty. We have Ghost character, Fumbles. Florar's Mad Mark, and Zypher's Zeke. For those of y'all interested in what happened previously, the game started off as any other day. You woke up, had a morning cup of coffee, ate some bacon, and realized half the group was gone. Upon trying to figure out what happened to the group, you noticed something startling your horses. You investigated that. There was a giant creature there. Apparently it was run off by a pack of hyena-like hoghounds. You fought the Gorger, and thanks to Dickie Fumble's brave effort, he managed to defeat the beast. Shortly thereafter, the other half of your group, led by one Mingo Chavez, who is Harry's rival in the gang. It's kind of like a subtle Cold War going on for leadership of the gang. But he returned back, citing that he managed to go into town, the nearby town of Mercy, and found out some interesting information that led to the potential staging of an ambush in order to loot a payroll wagon coming in and relieve them of their funds. Our game itself will basically start off with after the post wrap up, discussing Harry's intentions of trying to find out more about this entire affair. That being said, what happened? Somebody come in or somebody go out?
I had an internet issue. I'm here.
That being said, we will go ahead and hang out in the saloon a bit and talk shop. First off, for those of you new, if y'all look at your character sheet, you'll see some stats on it. Also, if you haven't already done it, in the My Collection section under macros, make sure all the macros are clicked in end bar or show macro quick bar. That way you're able to use them whenever you choose your token. Rusty has an additional one on his called Structure Check, and that's for his mech. But once you have all those clicked and checked, give you a sample of it. If you look at your character sheet, let's go ahead and say Rusty for right now. If you left click your token to select them, if you want to do your normal skill check roll, first is a drop down that shows your attribute. Let's say you're going to hit someone with your mech wrench.
On down to City Hall.
Oh, City Hall.
Guess we gotta go to City Hall.
What that was about.
Oh, I guess we gotta go to City Hall.
Well, eventually we will.
So you say I'm hitting someone with a wrench?
If you hit someone with a wrench, you would use all your attack skills except for grapple use dexterity. The only thing that uses something different is grapple, and that's strength. But if you're hitting somebody with your wrench, you would use the drop down for dexterity. Then it's asking the number of skill dice. If you look under your melee, you have 2 dice. You would key that in. Drop down option for that for 2 dice. Then ask if you have advantage. Depending on the circumstances awarded and stuff, sometimes a tactics roll will give you an advantage, sometimes just GM situational stuff. It'll give you bonus dice to the action. It's usually from 1 die to 3 dice. Let's say you have no advantage. Action penalty, your first action is always free. There's no penalty assigned to it. You get a total number of actions equal to your initiative rank. So if you have an initiative rank of 4, you would get 4 actions per turn. Each action past the first, you lose 1 die to all tests. So the first action would be 0, second action would be -1 die, third action would be -2 die, etc. Say it's your first action, no penalty. Injury penalty, the normal system, whenever you hit 0 points, you're dead. That's kind of brutal. I'm trying to help out here by awarding what I call like stage levels. You ever familiar with Star Wars or even Mutants and masterminds, where they assign like mooks and elites and stuff like that. Basically, your popcorn troops will get one injury rank, so whenever they hit 0, they're down and out. For your elites, you would have 2. Basically, it'd be 2 sets of hit points. So, like, your hit points are 36. Whenever those 36 are eaten up, you would be considered injured, and you would suffer -1 die penalty on top of whatever else. Then when the third tier, well, you're heroics, you each get 3 tiers. So your third tier, you would be considered bloody and beaten, badly injured, and you would suffer -2 dice. Then whenever that hits 0, you'd be down and out. If that makes any sense. Hopefully I haven't confused you. An example would be you have 36 hit points, but you're a heroic character, so you have 3 tiers. You took 60 points of damage. You would be at 24. You would be at 12 hit points into your first injured tier. So you'd be a -1 die to hit. Well, yeah.
Okay.
But let's say you're not injured, so it'll be 0. Then the final modifier at the end is like usually a flat modifier for certain features. Some features, when you activate them, or even if they're permanent, they'll like say add +6, +7 to whatever result, to whatever roll you're trying to do. Let's say there's a 0 modifier there. Then once you get all that and hit submit, see. Exactamundo. If you want to go back and do the math, you can add it up in your head, but it should wind up. Now, this game uses a wild die rule. Basically, any roll except for damage, I do believe. You're always supposed to nominate 1 die as your wild die. And if that die rolls a 1, it hinders you. And if that die rolls a 6, it benefits you. Seeing how I don't have the Plus or Pro account to create an API script, what I do is I just hover. If you hover over the result in the boxed area, I look at the first die 6 rolled, which is the leftmost, and if that's a 1, we use it as a hindering wild die. If it's a 6, we use it as a beneficial wild die. So if I'm hovering over Rusty's roll and it says roll 5 die 6 plus 0, then in parentheses it says 5 plus 3 plus 6, I would look at the leftmost number, which is the 5. That's not a 1 or a 6, so the results are just treated like normal. Hovering over Mad Marks, his first one's a 2, same thing. But that's the basic for mechanics. The rest of it, like I said, it'll be situational. I'll do it together. By the way, that's Game of Thrones being played. It's either House Stark or the Reigns of Castamere, but it's the old Wild West version of it. I thought it was very pretty.
It is pretty. So pretty.
But, okay, let's get into the meat of things here, so let y'all go on. Rusty, you're in town. Everybody else has been grouped up. Mingo has done his sales pitch, trying to whet everyone's appetite with the intended offer of being able to rob a stagecoach. Sounds like, the stagecoach itself, not only is it going to contain some supplies to the town, it's going to contain the town's payroll. Because from what you gather, the town's run by one Marshall Braddock. He's like your hard-ass Wyatt Earp type. And he's basically, they were descended up on Fort Spine when it was abandoned and everybody took off. They gathered what technology and resources they could, and they spread out, and over time they all scattered to the 4 winds and settled down. The town of Mercy is a small town. It's about maybe 200, maybe in between 200-300 people total. But he's got a really good security force, and he's also got a handful of steamechs. That's basically how the town's managed to survive so long, is through the fact that he's able to train the troops and he's able to outfit them with what weapons they had, and also the fact that they had steamechs to enforce everything. But then, as such, Harry has left the town of Mercy alone because it's too much trouble. It's more than he can bite off. because he might be good with a gun, but trying to shoot down 4 or 5 fucking steamechs is not a cool thing. But it seems that Marshal Braddock and most of his troops and forces are currently occupied. Mingo said there was some kind of a feral uprising up to the northeast. It seems that 2 rival tribes have been sparring with one another and demands the marshal's attention. Those 2 tribes, as we've mentioned before, is the kind of like the cannibal horde of crazy hillbilly inbreds known as the Donner Party. And then they have it's like a band of renegade prospectors and miners that were shorted supplies and resources from capital cities, so they said fuck this, took off their own, and eventually degenerated into a band of pseudo-industrial tech type. They use explosives, mining drills, and stuff like that to do their stuff. That's the Tremor Gang. And yes, Ghost, I didn't see your text until way later asking if it's from Smoking Aces. Yeah, it's from Smoking Aces is where I got it.
Oh, baby.
Except they're not neo-Nazis.
Oh, man. I was really looking forward to it. I wanted to see the fucking black metal helmets and spikes and shit everywhere. Get called whatever bullshit derogatory term you're gonna make up for.
They be more like your mole people, fucking hardcore miner types. Tear you
They
apart.
play death metal with like shitty saucer pans and
tear you apart with pickaxes and those big mining drills, you know. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna mute y'all. I got a mouthful of chaw and it's turning into melted mulch.
That's fine.
Yep.
Mute me all you want.
You can't mute me. I'm an individual.
There, much better. Well, you don't need to hear me swishing. I might be one of the Donner Party.
Definitely one of the Buzzard Party.
Alrighty, but yeah, he's been trying to whet your appetite about that. Harry seems extremely hesitant, but the more Mingo spilled his guts, the more he seems to consider the entire ordeal to merit enough attention to at least do some recon. As such, he suggested that people split up into routines. His original thoughts were to send Cookie and the kid into town during the daytime to enter in and try to buy some supplies. The reason he does that is Cookie's so old that probably any warrants that were out against him are like from his childhood, if there are any, because Cookie's kind of mysterious in his own way. And the kid, he's still green. Sinclair's still green enough that he'd probably just pass as Cookie and the kid. Could be Gramps and grandson. But he's going to go in and test out, see what security is. So they would be the first sent in. After that, he was suggesting Harry and go with Mingo. And he's like, I need one of y'all to come with me. Of course, Buckshot Bill is the first one to go, I'll go back with you. I'll go back to the Coochie Clutch. I don't mind. Harry, of course, is pissed off at him because he neglected his guard duties, and he's like, no way in hell you're staying here. Looking amongst everybody in the ranks, he finally just looks over at Fumbles, of course, is all cockeyed and friggin' probably whittling on something.
And just smiling, looking stupid.
Yeah, he just looks at him, looks at you, and smutters to no one in particular. He just goes, you'll do. Looks over to Bull, and Bull looks at him. Two of them exchange silent conversation. You can see Harry's hands move slightly. Bull just kind of nods affirmingly, and he just reaches over, and Bull is attempting to grab you, Humbles.
I'm kind of scared of Bull, so I don't know if I want him to grab me. I'm gonna try to get away from that.
Alrighty. That being said, we will do a quick, brief combat example. We'll be rolling initiative. Going to left-click your character, roll initiative. No, I don't think he has any modifiers.
That was duty.
No, he doesn't. Alrighty. So Bull gets to go first. Bull is attempting to grapple you. That being said, the PDF closed out.
How does I defend, boss? With a dodge?
Attempt to surrender a dodge. Action spent, and it eats up actions. So if you haven't acted yet and you dodged twice, you would be technically considered to be on your third action whenever you get the chance to act.
That is fine. I don't want him to touch me. Let's see what my...
So I'm trying to... There it is. You can attempt to use your dodge to dodge, or you can attempt to counter his grapple with a grapple of your own.
Nah. So
You are
3,
squirrely. You are squirrely, so you dodge. You double your dodge results.
That's definitely why I'm doing that. Instead, I'm not going to try to grapple with Bull. Bull's big.
So yours would be dexterity and dodge, and there's no advantage. And it's your first action, and he will attempt his strength and grapple. Check his character sheet features. You will spend a... Oh no, this is the first shot. He will not spend a point. You will just do... grapple.
It's a 34.
Son of a bitch. Check, make sure there's no modifiers. Oh, that's brawl anyway, not grapple. Oh, he'd actually be able to use more dice for his initiative, but he beat you anyway. Cool. He grabs you oh, he rolled a 6 on his first one too. If you hover over Bull's results, his first die roll was a 6, so that means it would add a wild die to it. So he got a 43 to your 34. Bull grabs you. You try to dodge out the way, but he's dealt with you in the past. He plants his big old ham-hot fist around the back of your neck, and he quickly snatches you up and grabs your one arm, or actually grabs you by the hip. He's so big and you're so little. Grabs you by the back of the neck and the hip, and he literally just hefts you up onto his shoulder as you're kicking and flailing, and he starts walking over towards where you know a little stream's at.
You get the hell off me! Don't tell people. Okay.
And he, of course, he doesn't talk. He's got his tongue was removed, but he just squeezes a little tighter and grunts. Basically, that's his way of conferring hold still. Are you going to try to break free of the grapple? If not, we'll just...
I don't think I can, but I think Dickie would still try. So fuck it, I guess. Strength. The straight strength, I'm sure. Or am I going to try to slip?
Well, actually, no. You grapple to break. Winner of each grapple can do one. He can either. Oh, if he squeezes you, he just crush you outright. Let's just say that was your one combat example, because we're not going to go through combat. But he managed to get a hold of the example. But he's grabbed you shouldered up and he takes you down to the river and he grunts, and you can tell what he's going to do. He starts forcing a bath on you. He starts basically plunges you down in the water and starts rubbing and scrubbing all over you.
No, won't dig it on, baby. You son of a bitch.
He just finally reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a big old thing of lye soap and starts scrubbing on you and washes you like a damn angry wet poodle.
Ah! Screaming the whole time.
And of course, y'all can see and hear it as it's going on. Harry don't say nothing; he just spins around. But the rest of Rusty's not there. But he cleans you up and brings you back soaking wet, drops you off, and plants you in front of the fire.
I'm just mad. I'm just sitting there mad looking. But I hope you didn't ruin my dynamite doors and then cheat.
Harry's just like, quit your bitching. Says you're going into town with us tonight. Sudden realization that the coochie clutch is where you're going dawns upon you. He's apparently going to take you into the whorehouse.
I could have went in the coochie plant smelling like booty hole. Didn't matter.
You were covered in gorger gore and shit, dude.
Would have been fine.
Just looks at you and he goes, make yourself as presentable. And he stops and as presentable as you can be.
I'm just pouting. Mad that I had to bathe.
And he starts talking a little bit more about the plan and everything like that as you're getting dressed. And he looks and he finally motions over to Zeke, the Mad Mark. He's like, a word, please.
Sure, Mr. Doyle. What is it?
You there, Flora?
Sorry, I'm dealing with the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man, he got another one here. Everybody's got their goddamn dogs to deal with.
He stands up and walks over.
If things go good at our meeting tonight, he says I might have a little bit of work for y'all to do during the late hours. Probably want to rest up, conserve your energy.
Nights when I work best anyway. And he taps the metal part of his face.
Zeke
Harry.
pulls out a scalpel and starts twirling it in his fingers. Nighttime.
No.
I like it. I shall be rested.
Looks when you start playing with your knife and he goes, nothing fancy, just reconnaissance.
Zeke goes, oh, and he puts the scalpel back in and says, reconnaissance. That's fine too. I shall do that.
Right on. So I won't be needing none of my big guns?
He just shrugs.
I'll take him anyway.
But let y'all, if y'all want to, y'all rest up. I start dishing out lunch and stuff like that. And
Zeke goes up to Mark and says, hey Mark, do you have any of that mustache wax with you?
I'm guessing probably. Do I?
not much, because supplies are low.
Zeke's going to take a little bit of that
No.
and then help Fumbles make one nice...
Oh God, you're gonna cow lick his hair down.
Oh, I'm gonna fight the doctor about this shit. I've had enough.
No, he's not... It's like...
We're gonna
like
combat again.
Fumbles. The ladies like a long stash, yo. Ladies like a long stash.
I don't care about no lady. No lady can help me do nothing.
Well, tonight you're going to have a real lady, not the skanks you've been used to.
Fumbles don't mess with no ladies. Fumbles is blowing stuff up. He don't mess with no ladies. I just like to blow things up. Lady can't blow nothing up. Don't touch my face.
Buckshot's like, you can sure blow all right. Come on up. Blow you.
Yeah, Buckshot know about that blowing.
He starts grabbing, fidgeting with his pants and crotch.
Zeke turns to Buckshot and says, "Hey, Buckshot, how's my horse doing?"
He stops fiddling with his crotch, looks at you, and it's, "Fuck you, Zeke." Just kind of sulks off.
Zeke's gonna...
But, it's Mingo. Mingo drops. Oh, brothers. They're supposedly related, so all of them are conversing in their damn Asian Spanish hybrid language. They're all, but pretty much you do your best to make fumbles presentable, and eventually the time rolls around in the evening time. Y'all the other two are resting up. Rusty, you're in town. You're loading. It's not your business. It's not your family's business. It's some second, third string fucking place. You're loading like stupid stuff, fucking barrels full of horseshoes, slag iron and stuff like that. You're supposed to be meeting with Mingo said he's going to come back and meet you at the end of town. And you've been working pretty damn hard, but it's getting about quitting time and time to start cleaning up and getting ready to go down there. Should you go down there early and find your or whatever, that's your. But if you could picture a screenshot in the town of Rusty and his mech, which is a big. Remember the Aliens movie where Ripley jumped out and said, "Get away from her, you bitch."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had like the cargo loader. It's a mech that's designed to do that. It's got the rotating, clamping hands, but it's got like the big barrel configuration because it's steampunk tech and doesn't have an armored chassis. It's literally like where the pilot gets in and pulls the bars down over in front of him. Clamps in idles on and uses the thumbsticks and basically uses that to control the arms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something of his own design. He's been putting down slag iron and stuff, and just when you hear the whistle blow, the old yabba dabba doo Flintstones. You awake, Demi?
Yeah, man. You said I was heading there early to meet up with them.
I was saying it's quitting time. You're supposed to meet up with them later. Now, if you wish to go there early or anything, to get laid, it is a whorehouse after all.
I mean, yeah, might as well kill some time, right?
Alright. So you're gonna get there early and go ahead and move on to Rusty. We'll move you there and we'll hide these three for a second. You walking in, you can get down to the coochie clutch. I'm assuming you're gonna bathe or wash off first. Or you're gonna go in all hot and sweaty.
Yeah, no, I got an image to maintain. Got to clean up.
Alright. Go walking in, typical time. The group's got the places not really happening, but it's got your local people in it. Then a couple minutes of entering, you notice the madam, one Rosie. She comes, and following behind her is a big old bodyguard. You see other people around. You know there's other people there, but you know this guy, he's Bear. That's her personal bodyguard. You haven't met Bull yet, but he's probably about as big and as intimidating looking as Bull. Big old furry type. But Rosie comes on in and she just looks and she goes, "Well, I do declare, Mr. Wallace, by all means, come on in."
Oh, thank you, Rosie. It's been such a long time.
Oh, everything doing all right?
You know, I'm sick and tired of working in this town. I don't get enough respect. I don't get paid enough for this. I'm just
Oh.
so stressed.
She saunters up, puts her hand on her shoulder. She's like, well, maybe then you need to go up to the bar and tell old Willis there to give you a drink and drown your sorrows. If you won't, I can send the usual over as well. She just bats her eyes like...
Oh, Rosie, you always know how to cheer a man up. I'll do just that.
It's what I do, honey. Rubs you on the back and she starts pushing you towards the bar.
I'm sure she's not trying to sell anything at all.
Man, Bear's is looking at you. He's got dual Bowie knives on his hip. He just kind of... He's got weapons in town.
That's illegal.
Yeah, so I'll just make my way up there.
All right, you saunter up there, and this old hip huzzah type, he just looks over and he's like, oh, what could I get you, chap?
Oh, you already know. I come here enough. I'll have the usual.
Oops. Damn, he moved by himself.
It's like magic.
He fly over the bar. Hey, what you need, man? Hold up, I'll get it back. Woo! Right back over.
He did a Gymkhana flip over. What can I get you? I'll be right back.
Fucking handstand off the bar. Give me your order. Woo! Ah! Kicking fucking bottles and shit down to
You
me.
gonna order just a beer? You gonna get whiskey or what?
Some whiskey, please.
Oh, this is a sure thing. Black Label coming up. Dog just ducks down beneath the counter, pulls up a fresh bottle. He goes, oh, I do believe this is the first one open tonight. Cracks the top, puts a little shot glass in front of you, pours it up, and he stops and looks around, looks over towards Rosie, adds another splash more, and he goes, there you go, chum. Pushes it up towards you.
Glug glug.
He's like, ooh, we are having quite the day. Another one, shall we?
Oh, just keep them coming.
Ooh, should I just charge you for the bottle?
Wait, what?
Should I just charge you for the bottle?
You know what? It feels like one of those days. Go ahead.
Very well. Flies it over. Makes a little notation down under the bar. You start drinking. Notice one whore that was over here trying to solicit this one guy. He just seems solely focused on the drink, so she starts sauntering over. She just looks over and she goes, oh, hi, stranger. She looks like she's kind of out of it a little bit, a little glassy-eyed look to her.
Oh, hello.
Like, you looking for company? Starts rubbing on you.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Is this my girl for a night?
It's like a retarded Keanu Reeves.
This is not your usual. Coming down the stairs. This chick over here, by the way, she's singing. People are singing and dancing. Not very well.
Mm-hmm.
But you see a blonde come down from the stairs, and right before her was the patron. He goes walking out. She comes down, and by the time she overhears the conversation, she goes from across the room. She goes, "No, Lily, that one's mine." You see her sachet in her hips. You know damn well she's probably got to be crotch full of semen. But you see her. It's let's see, what's a good name? It's Agnes.
You're really not making this very appealing for them. Yeah, she's definitely been fucked just now. Here you go.
Dude, it's a whorehouse.
I know. But
But it's Agnes. She's totally anything but the way her name would portray her. You know, Agnes, you would think of an old bitter woman. Nah, this chick is young and vibrant and very sexy and swanky, and she just comes sauntering over.
There's some on this first guy's cum. Never know.
She was like, "No, Lily, this one's mine." She looks over and she reaches over to give you a big kiss.
Yeah, so sorry, Lilith, was it? I'm here for Agnes. How have you been?
Well, she just gets mad and just starts staggering over to these two over here playing cards. She's like, "Fine, whatever." She saunters up and she grabs a bottle from me and she just pours a drink for herself. She's like going, "Oh, I see you're here. Business as usual?"
Well, actually, today is a bit special. I'm supposed to be meeting up with someone later. I've got a big move I'm trying to make here.
Oh, just kind of looks down for a second, little pouty lip face, and looks back up. "You're not planning on leaving us, are you?" She's like tracing the inside of your ear with her finger.
Oh, you know, I could never leave you behind.
And she tugs on your earlobe and pulls you towards you. She goes, "That's what I like to hear." Why is my piano getting really loud?
Yeah.
Trying to sell
The
that
loudest
atmosphere.
piano ever.
Well, I got my sound down and I could hear it real loud.
He's on his piano solo right now.
He must
He's
really.
playing-
He must like Agnes too. He's like, "Oh,
Ooh, I'm gonna show him how it's done.
He's got two pianos now.
She was like, "Oh, well, maybe later then."
Oh, I'll look for you. I know where to find you, of course.
"All right, darling." She leans down, gives you a kiss, and starts quickly moving over to the dude that Agnes just struck out on. You saunter your way back over to where you originally were. Start dishing on the bottle. Meanwhile, evening time comes around. Now, the whorehouses, you notice, from the outskirts of town. They have a place on town called No Man's Land. Basically, it's an area where you go in. There's a region. It's where the barracks and a place called the dispensary is at. Anybody going into town has to check all firearms and weapons there at the dispensary. Now, they call it No Man's Land because it's the point of no return, and it's also it's supposedly guarded and censored. So it's kind of, you know, you go into the main road into town, it's tricky, and it's all, like I said, it's no man's land. Now the whorehouses and stuff are on the outskirts of town because all that activity, much like any old Wild West town, it's a business. Sure, they know that there's illegal activity and they might patrol it, but it's also on the outskirts of town, away from everything, kind of like they used to do slaughterhouses and stuff. Keep it away from the civilized people. But you're over there, claim the table for your own, chugging some drinks and stuff. And about that time, you start hearing the all too familiar sounds of spurs. I think I have it somewhere. As the door swings open, and Harry Doyle walks in first. Rusty, you would see him, grizzled, hard man with really cold, steely eyes. Got the hat down in front of his face, so he's got like the shadow part, like from the forehead down to the tip of his nose is shadowed. And his eyes just glint from the darkness underneath. He's got the trench coat on. He's got guns. And he comes in walking with a rifle in his hand. He hasn't hit no man's zone yet, so. But he comes walking in, just starts looking around the room. And coming in behind him, you notice Mingo, who of course is immediately scanning around the room looking for stuff. And following behind them is little hunchback, crab-walking, cockeyed, grizzly-bearded old man. Probably what'd you say, in his late 50s, almost 60.
Yeah, scratching his nuts with a pair of overalls on.
And he basically looks like somebody bum off the streets, put him in a really drab pinstripe tweed suit, and then cowlicked his hair down, you know, that like mother's part where they do, and it's like pushed down. Totally looks uncomfortable. But he comes sauntering in right behind him. And that would be Fumbles. But the three of them come in. You notice Mingo. You notice the two are apparently with him. And, of course, old Madame Rosie. She notices. And... oh, private roll. She looks and she steps about to fish Harry, then stops and bypasses him and starts making her main line of communication, almost like she's avoiding him. Then makes her main line of communication to Mingo himself. Now the big guy, he steps up and he just stops and he's staring at Harry. Notice, it's just subconscious. His hands go to the pommels of his knives and kick them back out behind him to the side. Just not really defensive, or he's not eager to attack or anything. It's just like a precautionary defensive mechanism most people have, subconsciously. But she comes in and she's like going, "Oh, now, Mr. Chavez, I do believe you brought us new customers." And he just looks at her and goes, señorito, es muy bueno this evening. I guess I was, yes. He says, "I brought some friends. We are here for wine, women, and wonderful times." Fumbles. She's just kind of looking at you like, oh. Gives Mingo like a little hug and a peck on the cheek and starts towards you. And she starts looking at you and just like, "Oh, well, you do keep interesting company."
You got any drink in this dang old place?
It's like, "Well, oh, yes, of course. Help yourself to the bar. Just ask old Willis for anything your heart's desire."
Mm-hmm.
We got the most acrobatic bartender this side of the counter.
Start waltzing over. Just pushing through people. And
Mingo steps forward and she starts looking and you notice tips his hat toward you. Kind of side glances to Harry and gives him a gentle nudge with the elbow. This time, the madam, she's looking back. She's trying not to look at Harry, but it's the point where she just can't help but look. And he could see her lips quivering like she wants to say something, but she's really trying to restrain from saying anything. She's just like, "Well, then I'll leave you to your own devices if you need." "Rosie, no." She looks over. She goes, "Come along, Bear. We have other guests to attend to." She starts sauntering off to look at the chick singing, tell them to change up. She's like, "Yeah, you've had enough, dear. Give Lucy here a chance." And Bear, he stops and stares at Harry, grumbles, and then begrudgingly comes back and sticks close to her. Once they're gone, Mingo leans over to Harry and he says, "That's the one, nephew." He says, "Let's go and see." Comes up to the table, he looks at you and he goes, "Buenos noches, senor." Says, "It is I, Mingo. I have returned."
Oh, Mingo, oh pal, it's been too long.
And he goes over there and he goes to walk towards his seat and he's like going, "Do you mind?"
Of course not. Take a seat.
He pulls it out and he gets ready to squat. You hear an audible grunt coming from the guy. You don't know his name's Harry, but you kind of assume that it is. and he kind of lets out an audible grunt. Mingo stops from trying to sit in the chair and goes over and pulls Harry's chair out for him. So, it's this subtle tack, basically saying, "Dude, I'm in charge." Harry pops a squat in it and plops down. Mingo then takes his seat. Fumbles. You go to the bar. Bartender's over there. And he says, "Oh yes, yes. What can I get you, sir? A beer on tap, or maybe something harsher?"
Got some dang old beer back there. Give me that.
"Very well, fresh out the tap." Goes over and gets a mug and puts it down in front of you.
You don't make no meals in here?
"Food, is it now? I wonder, I might be able to whip. What did you have in mind?"
No, Dickie kind of hungry. Put anything in front of Dickie. Dickie don't eat it.
"Oh, very well then. I'll see what I can do. Maybe nothing more than a little sausage and taters."
Dickie likes sausage and taters.
"Very well then." Goes off behind the door. You get your drink. You gonna stay at the bar, or you gonna come back over?
I'm staying at the bar for right now.
All right. He's tending to you.
I'm still a bit mad at Harry and Bull for making me wash.
All right. So Harry sits down. Rusty, I want to give you a prime example. Now, granted, it's through social interaction. It's supposed to be, but Harry's not a man of many words. But he has a neat feature called Minatory. I need you to roll a willpower skill check. So that would be a persona skill, and if you have any skill dice and willpower, if not, no dice, just choose the 0 option.
No advantage, no disadvantage, none of that, yeah?
Did you hear all that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
I said no advantage, no disadvantage, none of that?
No, none of that, no. Alrighty, that will not do it. He exudes an aura around him that makes you rather complacent, and instead of being agitated, it's quite the opposite. It's sort of that "don't fuck with him" type of feel that you get off of him. So it's just one of the features. He basically creeps the hell out of you. But he sits.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Dearie me, how impolite. Nice to meet you, sir. My name is Russell Keegan Wallace. Most people call me Rusty. And I take my hand out, extend it.
Just kind of looks at you for a long time, looks over to Mingo, kind of scared about what he's going to do next, but he ultimately reaches forth with his hand and he goes, "Call me Harry." Shakes your hand back.
Roger that, Harry, sir.
Like going, looks around the room for a little bit, looks over at Dickie. Of course, the bartender comes back, said he's got you some bangers and mash going up on the flame in the back. "This should be up shortly, sir. Should I get you another beer while you're waiting?"
Yeah, I think I want a drink.
Very well. Here's a nice stout for you. Of course, he's trying to get you the little more expensive beer. Gives it down. It's a little darker color, but it's got a better taste to it.
Works for me.
And but Mingo's like going, "Yeah." He says, "It's okay." He says, "We can talk in here." He's going, he says, Tell him what you told me. So tell him what you told me about the marshal being out of town."
Oh, right. Well, I believe I told you most of it earlier, but I'll share it again. Hold on. You gave me a sheet with this, right?
Yeah. I can summarize if you want.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not gonna do that voice though.
Aw, man, come on.
Like,
he can't
well,
count.
it seems that the marshal has found himself a trifle bit of trouble. There appears to be two feral tribes warring with each other, and he's been forced to take most of the town's militia with him. Says, this, I do believe, would present yourself with the most prime opportunity to intercept, from what I've overheard, is going to be the payroll shipment. It appears that it's coming as scheduled, with no interruptions. Harry's just like going, will they have added security? Rusty looks and... Not privy to that information, I'm afraid, but I do know that the payroll would be coming upon its normal route, and that it should be here within the end of the week's time. Harry's just like, you're sure the sheriff's gone? He's like, oh, most indubitably, as I myself work at the docks, and the normal regime of patrols have slackened greatly. It seems that they have but a scant handful of men to patrol this town. Stops for a minute, and he's like, you could conceivably take the town over for that matter.
God.
Mingo gets all excited, and then Harry just holds up a hand. He's like going, pretty fancy words from a fancy man. Mingo's like, but no, Harry, I told you this to be true. Says, you'll never listen to me. I'm getting sick and tired of... Harry just kind of cuts him a look, and he's just Mingo's gritting his teeth like he wants to say more, but he eventually relents and holds back. He goes, no, Harry. He says, you don't believe me, you look for yourself. He says, go and get your men. He says, get your favorite men and have them go and look. It's not like Mingo does not do enough for you already. He says, my word not good enough for you. Yeah, let your boy, the kid, let him go. Is it better seeing old Dickie over there, him and his cock eyes? Harry just kind of looking at you, and he looks back at Rusty. Now this is where you can start talking. He's like going, what's in it for you? Why are you telling us this?
Well, you see, I am never satisfied, and this little town just won't do it for me, you know? I'm thinking now's my chance. If I were to join you, Harry, sir, if you were to allow me to do this, it would be to both our benefits.
How so?
Well, I have a very particular set of skills. Skills that make... Skills that make me a nightmare for men who want to protect the bankroll, okay? And I can offer you those skills, Harry, sir.
So you're Liam Neeson, but you sound like James from Pokemon.
I'm Liam James Neeson. Yeah. Harry's like, what skills?
Well, you see, I have a college degree. I can pilot and operate various mechanical structures. And I'm very good at it, I should know. You should know.
That don't mean shit unless you got one to pilot.
Well, I'll have you know, Mr. Harry, sir, I have one of the best mechs around. The good old Rust Bucket.
He looks like he's about ready to either get up or hit someone. You can't quite tell. He's like clenched his jaw. And he just like... Go ahead if you're about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna interject before he gets all mad. Well, hold on, let me go on, please. It's a custom-built work loader of my own design. It's a bit outdated and badly weathered, you know, but I worked with what I had. It's amazing. You should see it.
Like, you build a mech, a steam mech?
Of course, I have a degree.
looks at Mingo, and Mingo's just not. Iffy. He's just like, looks, gets lost in thought a little bit. And he's like, what kind of steamech?
It's a Powerhouse 500. It's pretty simple but efficient, if I say so myself.
Has it got guns?
Well, I tell you, Mr. Harry, sir, it doesn't need guns. I can do so much more.
Harry's getting flustered. Mingo's just like, no, man. He says, no, Harry, no. Give the kid a chance, man. He's like, no, he works the docks, man, a work loader. He says, I've seen this thing from a distance, man. It's big and strong as all hell. He says, he could probably tackle the coach. He said, take it down by hand. No, this is too, right, Effie?
Yes, of course. I could, I mean, I'm not feeling too confident about that, but I'm trying to sell it, you know?
Yeah, I'm doing private GM roles for empathy and shit like that.
Oh God, Harry,
Yeah.
empathy. It's like a fucking oxymoron.
Yeah. Harry just like he's like, you'd want to join up with us?
Oh, Mr. Harry, sir, more than anything.
You know we're wanted men.
Well, I didn't hear what you just said.
You know we're wanted men, outlaws. You'd want such a life?
I dream of such a life.
Can't even fucking take it.
Harry just finally breaks down and I need a fucking drink. I'll think it over. You two talk, I'll get back to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Harry, sir. Just considering it is an honor.
He gets up, and as soon as he gets up to what's between these two, they reposition themselves. He gets up, and this guy moves to the other side of the whore and puts her closer to him. He gets up to the bar next to Dickie, who's eating his bangers and mash. Probably wolfing it down, getting it all on his fucking beard by now to help counter that cleanliness.
Covered in it. Eating it with my fucking hands, not even silverware.
Harry just grabs your beer glass from you and just bottoms up what's left of it.
Open my mouth to say something, but then see who it is. And, oh.
Bartender slides over. He's all happy at first. He does that whole, yeah. Good evening, sir. How can I help you this evening? Harry looks at him. Whiskey. Now. He's like, very well, sir. Top-notch stuff for a top-notch client. Reaches over, grabs a bottle, pours a glass, hands it to him. Harry downs a swig. He goes to pour another glass. And Harry just grabs the bottle from him and the shot glass. Dickie, with me now.
Before I finish my potatoes and mash?
Dickie, with me now.
Man, just throw some money on the table for this shit.
You can pop a squat in that seat right there if you want.
Fucking crab walk over and hop up on it.
Sits down, pours him a couple drinks, don't say nothing, long silence. Looks over and he goes, fumbles. This guy here says he's got a mech. You think you might be able to verify what it's capable of?
Oh hell, boss! Bring it the mech over to us. I take a look at it, see what it can do. Mm-hmm. I know a lot about mechs and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Looks back at you and he's like, You, what here? Think you'll be able to bring him back out here? Or meet us somewhere? Show us what it's capable of?
Of course, Mr. Harry, sir. Just tell me a time and a place and I'll be there.
Thanks for a minute. He basically gives some random location at the end of town. He says, edge of town, within the hour. You'll have my decision then.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Rest of the time spent uncomfortably silent, drinking. Mingo, of course, is trying to talk up everybody. Getting no back, Fumbles is still upset. And you are approached in random intervals by the prostitutes.
Oh.
They're coming over. They're like, oh, hi. I do declare we have newcomers here. Like, oh, is fancy anything particularly fancy?
Looking up cockeyed at her.
And basically, before as we make a transitionary period, if y'all want to go upstairs and get laid, y'all can. Mingo. Okay, from Harry, he takes 2 chicks upstairs. But if y'all want to grab somebody and go upstairs, you can.
Oh, Agnes, dear. I'm gonna go find my lady, you know? The one and only.
Oh yeah, she's right there.
Kind of want to dance around and do some goofy shit on that table that everybody, the whores are dancing on and wailing on.
Do you want to go over there? And
Yeah,
you can go over there and get liquored up and start dancing along with them.
that's my plan.
Not up on the stage. If you want to get on the stage, then yeah, you're gonna be just a damn bouncer.
Try to convince him to let me go up there.
Try to convince them to let you go up there on the stage.
Sure.
That would be persuasion check.
Oh,
Persona persuasion.
I just so happened to have 2 dice in that. Sorry, Wolf, I had to do it.
I'm just trying to picture this crotchety old man getting lit, standing, slow-mo hip gyration dance.
We
Bottle.
jiggling, or? 6 on the wild.
Watch that explode like 4 times. 18, nah, you would need that be a 21 minimum to even think about it. You get up and start trying to stagger a couple times. Ladies kind of more disgusted at it than intrigued by it. You know, it's like at first she like show a little bit of like, oh, that's cute, look at here. Kind of reaches down and stops, and ultimately it results in the bouncer going over and telling you, says, we don't touch the ladies here, sit down and enjoy your drink.
Oh, hell, y'all ain't no fun. Y'all ain't no fun up in here. Mm-hmm. Sit down, start drinking. I just wanted to be jiggling.
You want to fuck her, you pay like all the rest.
Dickie can remember you.
But y'all have y'all's thing. And sum up things so we can get to the other people who are just listening for a bit. You go and check out his mech, and it's a work loader. It looks to be sturdy, doesn't have any ranged weapons, but it has powerful clamps, hand clamps. And it looks definitely an asset, because I think it's 2.3 meters tall, so it's like a big armored exosuit. It could definitely help you should you decide to rob the coach. But that's what y'all do. And upon receiving the knowledge that it could potentially assist you, Harry confers a little bit with Bull and ultimately approaches you, Rusty. He's like going, Says if you join us and we do this, you might wind up having to kill somebody. You can live with that?
I can live with much more than that.
I certainly have no problem killing anyone. And if we do this and you try to fuck us, you'll be dead.
Oh, dearie me, Mr. Harry, I don't swing that way.
Jesus Christ.
He just glowers. You don't know this, but he's in his mind is probably that. Okay, we'll send this fucker in screaming. That'll be how you're accepted into your trial basis. So hopefully the dice gods will favor you. All right, seeing how that he got a mech, a proposal he wishes to investigate. The validity of the claims. The first claim is that the marshal is out of town and that the troops are been gone with him. As such, when he regroups back with you and he wakes Zeke and Mad Mark up, he's like, on your feet, you got work to do.
Zeke just kind of rubs his eyes open. Mr. Doyle, back already? What's the plan?
Looks like y'all are going into town.
With or without weapons?
I sure hope it's with.
He looks, thinks for a minute. He's like, your call overall, but you'd be on your own.
With weapons, then.
I agree with you there.
Like I said, nothing fancy, just reconnaissance.
I got it. Reconnaissance. Nothing fancy.
Starts sketching out a rough map of the town's representation. Starts points out no man's land. He pulls the access points y'all might be able to get into. Other than no man's land, he's like, Zeke,
Yes.
Marshal's office is here. I want you to make your way without getting too close and judge how the security's run. If the patrols, if they're few, spread out. And if you can, find out if the marshal's in his house.
Will do, Mr. Doyle.
Looks over to Mad Mark. Looks over to Mad Mark and he goes, you got the harder job. He starts pointing over on the town. He goes, over here is their mech yard. Our informants, our informant, says, our newcomer says that the mechs are gone with the marshal. I need you to make your way, come up with the validity of that. Reconnaissance only, don't get too close. I'm sure that place is protected.
So I gotta make sure their big robot ain't there right now.
Last I knew, he had half a dozen. Should be pretty quiet. Wouldn't hear any of the diesel pumps running. Get there, visual confirmation ideal, audio, you know the routine. Once you find things out, make your way back out to town and find. So we're going to hole up over here and basically relocate and camp.
I'm gonna turn to Zeke and go, alright, then we know what we gotta do. We might as well head out then.
Zeke gets up,
Okay.
shakes his head, and says, yeah. Let's do this, Mark.
Ready, want to temporary move, y'all.
Stand up, and as we walk out, shoulder my sniper rifle and just walk out.
Alright, we will be dealing with Zeke first. You have managed to been given a point to the south to try and sneak your way into town. I'm going to let you give me an overall stealth check, dexterity stealth check, to determine how well your base entry level is going to be.
Okay.
Then we'll handle it accordingly.
I'm on the
I know. I have you on the please loading
yeah.
for a reason.
Hold on.
Oh wait, well that's right. I'll go ahead and move you over. Zeke.
There you go. Perfect.
I'll go ahead and adjust your. Can see you. Oh.
You said an overall
That would be helpful.
sneak, correct?
Yeah.
What is that? Dexterity.
Go ahead and put it in all players. Does it have to? Is it if it no? How do you make the token visible to everybody? Do I make the character visible to everybody? Because none of y'all can see him currently, all right?
I can see him.
You can see Zeke?
Yeah,
Yeah,
top
I
left
can
corner.
too.
Okay, everybody can see. You can see him, Demi?
Yep.
Okay, that was my biggest concern, was that he would be the only one to be able to see the damn character.
The only way that we wouldn't be able to see him is if I think dynamic lighting would make it so that we wouldn't be able to see him if
Yeah.
we were close enough, or if he was on the GM layer or hidden by.
Ooh, one on wild.
Is that correct? 7d6.
You know,
My dex
Zeke.
is 3.
Yeah, 76, but you only get to. What is that? You only get to keep the 4 dice?
4.
You only count your highest 4 dice.
Okay, so 6, 6, 5, and 4. 17.
12, 17, 21. Yeah, only your highest 4 dice. 21. 21 is your roll. So you have a stealth 21. That's difficult. That's not too bad. That's difficult rating. All right. You make your way into the southern town. No resistance so far. It's late night. You managed to creep your way in, bypassing no man's land. You basically had to climb a fence and get in. But you managed to make your way into town, and you have to find the marshal's area, and it might be somewhere over here, if memory serves correct.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah, can you do that again? Can you ping it again? The memory serves correct part. Okay, perfect.
It might be right there.
Awesome.
It's night time. I'm giving you perfect visibility for those 5 meters. You technically can roll further than that because it's considered like dim, shadowy light and stuff like that. We'd basically be making search rolls to notice stuff in the shadows,
Okay.
if there's anything.
So I do see.
But as of now, that for your stealth roll, whenever you do stealth rolls, you move your normal movement. Your normal movement is what, 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are these windows? Is this a window?
Yeah.
So I'm.
I don't have any removable roofs or anything like that. This is just a flat map.
Yeah, that's fine. So Zeke's gonna move here and hug the wall.
That's your first initial movement.
And then just continue up to the window. And is the window closed? Is there a light in that house?
Move back to your first initial spot, please.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Then where are you moving?
this is a window, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then is this a door?
Yeah.
Okay. So Zeke's gonna crawl up to the window, but stay on this side. Stay on this side, so that the light doesn't kind of give him away. And he's gonna try and.
Yeah, those are dimly lit because it's nighttime. Dimly lit lanterns. Or,
Okay.
probably gas powered.
Okay. So he's just gonna look through the through the window and do a search.
So you're gonna move up to the window?
Yes, but like crouched. You know what I mean? Not like full standing up. It's not. He's not trying to give his position away. He just want to see what.
Yeah. Just go ahead and give me.
Yeah, like up till here, and hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna use my feature Holmes, that uses academics.
Yeah, it lets you use your it makes you. Yeah, you basically make an academic.
Perfect.
Present your search roll.
Yeah, just want to see academics is
Intelligence and academics. Yeah.
Skill check. Intellect. 2 for academics. Oh boy. Nice.
I just rolled for gender. You're peeping in the window, and you see some guy down in his old red, butt flap fucking long john underwear, be getting ready for bed. You basically peek in, he's bent over with his butt crack exposed to his butt flap. He looks like he's undoing something from his feet and tucking them into his shoes and stuff like that. Put him at the foot of the bed and get ready for bed.
Zeke mutters himself, I ain't no proctologist. And he's just gonna go on to the other side up there.
Says, all right, where are you gonna go now? Oh, let me handle these other stuff while you're contemplating.
I'm gonna go there. I'm just doing my best not to go into any light whatsoever. So I'm gonna kind of move up here. That's 4 meters.
If I'm quiet, it's because I'm moving out a token.
Sure.
Damn. Rolling for random direction. Because you don't know it, but there are people patrolling.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
And going the random direction. Okay. And you move there. 2, 3, 5. All right, you can chart out another movement. Oh, you cocksuckers. You don't see any of that. Oh, actually, or your academics and intelligence roll.
Okay, you may do a search. Yeah, sure.
You're seeing. That's a difficult. You're seeing a couple shadowy shapes up ahead, moving in your direction.
I see. Zeke's gonna move back here 6 meters.
All right, you move back to the corner.
And then I'm gonna move, like crawl and underneath the window. Actually, my bad. Sorry, I'm gonna do this. Move here 3 meters, and then move 3 more meters further south. Yeah. All the way here. One more search or sneak.
No, you're cool.
Okay.
Man, you're going through. Don't see any notice, any shadow.
So then I'm gonna do now to this corner of that building right there, and then I want to kind of like peek around the corner to see if I can make out anything that's how do you say, dangerous. Search to see if there's anything that will give my position away around the corner.
Search on 18. Distance. Yeah, you see a shadowy shape right here moving your direction.
How far is the? How high is the roof from where I am?
Structure, building. It's a house, so what is that, like 8-10 feet tall? Maybe 12 foot on top of the roof.
I'm gonna hold position to see what this person does.
All you saw was a shape. You're gonna hold position and wait for it to move.
So you said it's shape, so that was a shape moving, or
It's a single silhouette moving in your direction.
Okay, so it's definitely moving in my direction, correct?
Yeah, but any detail for
You cut out there. What was that?
it's a single silhouette shape move. Tell you can't quite make out.
Yep. So I'm gonna hold my position till it is clear what that um, the shape is, or where the shape is moving, because I'm assuming I don't know what that person is gonna do next.
All right. That being said, go ahead and make your search roll. I'll find out what direction it goes.
Perfect.
Oh shit.
Ooh, ooh. Oh,
It's moving closer toward you. You're holding position and just breaking into view. You see I have to do this in a lit area so everybody can see it. No, I don't want a damn damage roll. Put it up here above you. Start noticing something sticking up off the top of it. Turns out it looks like it's one of the town's guard.
Okay.
Done up in typical heavy quilted padded armor. It's got a rifle with an attached bayonet attached to it. It's got a helmet with a visor mask on it. But it's walking in your general direction.
Okay.
And it actually stops right there where he's at.
Okay.
You all did see that picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Poof. And it looks like it's a guard on patrol, and it just stops and meanders around a bit, lifts his mask up, and takes a swig from a little flask, puts it back down, checks his rifle. Now goes to you. What you want to try and do? You gonna wait for him? Are you gonna try to sneak past him? Or...
Interesting.
You did say originally before the session, you're not gonna use your face mask. You're going as a normal person.
Yeah, exactly. This
Okay.
face mask is like underneath the duster I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Hanging on the back of my neck. Interesting. Okay. I am gonna do this. I'm gonna move back. Here. Take it 6. I'm gonna stay here and see what this person comes around the corner.
Okay. As you're there, you hear footsteps approaching from up to the north. Sounds like a casual pace, but they sound louder than normal. You remember that's all.
I remember what? What is that?
There were two shapes up top somewhere around here before, but now you're hearing sounds like footsteps walking this way. Oh, what the hell? GR is GM roll, right?
I think.
Yeah. GR.
There we go. From your angle, you notice he just against a cigarette.
What you're
And
cutting in and out? I didn't hear that. What was that?
as you're waiting to see what happens, you know, just shuffle down to the south, up against the wall. Then he winds up just lighting up a cigarette. As you're waiting, you see a couple rounding the corner. They be holding hand in hand, man and a woman. They're just taking a walk through the night. They don't appear to notice you, but they are moving your direction.
Okay.
They do appear to be normal civilians.
Then in that case, I'm just gonna walk past them, tip my hat at the man and the lady, and continue on.
Okay, where are you going to move to? Go ahead and move yourself.
Just check. 6. There.
All right. Walk by him, tip your hat. Lady kind of grips his forearm a little tight, like basically somebody's here. He just kind of looks at you, sees you tip your hat. He just nods back at you and kind of grins and looks at her, kind of like gives her a silly face, and she kind of breaks into a slight smile and just kind of nods at you.
I just continue on. 6 more.
They keep on walking.
Okay. I'm gonna move 6 feet in this direction. 6 meters.
Okay, go ahead where you want to.
Okay. 4 meters to this corner of the house, and then again, kind of look around the corner. Oh, nice. Oh my god.
Mm, when you're about here, you start noticing footsteps coming around here.
Coming out from where?
Footsteps are coming up to the northeast of you, and you start to see another single silhouette.
Okay, so I'm then gonna move to this corner, the next place. Search again.
Too many people on this fucking map. peeping. What'd you get for your search? 18. That's kind of funny. You don't see anything, but you can start hearing what sounds like someone humming or singing here. It's definitely female.
Where is it again? Can you bring it?
It's down to the south, buddy.
Oh, south of me. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna move here to the next corner and peek around to see if that person is just like a civilian or another militia. And also turn around and look behind here if there's anything or anyone coming towards me from this direction. So two search rolls.
You can just do one. I'll judge it off of that.
Ah,
23.
shit, hold on.
You don't see anything, but
Hold on. Okay. Oh my god. I get it's a 6.
let's just see. Only going to keep one. Oh.
I'm not gonna. Can't say anything for sure.
You don't see anything, but you do see what looks like a woman's shape coming up, and the singing's getting louder from.
Okay, so
It sounds like somebody, a drunk chick, she's just singing some tune.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step away, move 6 feet. Like that's 4, and move 2 more meters into the darkness.
So where would you wind up?
Right now I'm right where I am, but I want to move 2 more squares into the darkness once you open it up.
So you're gonna move 2 more into the darkness.
Right here.
So you'll be right there.
Hold on. Right there.
Right there. You peer around the corner, and you see another town guard walking up, and he spins, and he just turns, and he looks at you, just stops and stands still.
I say, good evening. Fine night for a stroll, won't you say?
Hmm? Oh, nice night for a
Yeah.
stroll. You say, yeah, okay. Why my G rolls don't work for? There we go. Just looks at you. You just move along. Starts walking
Which way does he walk? I'm just
across the street.
this time very casually. I'm just gonna walk all the way to where he was.
north along this path, and you eventually lose sight of them.
Awesome. And then 6 meters there. And kind of look around the corner.
Don't see anything around the corner. It does start to dawn upon you, given a couple of the landmarks and stuff, that can't see it down here. Marshal's office should be down here somewhere.
Further south?
Yeah, further south.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move 6 more meters further south.
You notice, as you're walking by, you notice this building over here is part of what they call the reserve barracks.
Which one is the
Oh,
reserve?
sorry, this building over here is part of what they call the reserve barracks.
I don't see anything at this point. Which one?
You don't see a ping?
No. I mean, I don't know where you're pinging, so I need to move the screen.
Oh, okay.
Like, one minute. Let me zoom it out all the way. Yeah, ping again.
This building over here. That's part of the reserve barracks.
I don't see the ping.
It might still be in the fog.
Yeah, it might be in the fog.
This guy. That's a fucked up shape. This building over here.
Okay. Are there
That's part of the reserve barracks.
Are there any? Can I do a search with respect to like trying to hear for voices or any movement from within the barracks?
Yeah, you do a basic search as you travel. I kind of look down because that's there. Yeah.
Hold on.
You don't hear anything, but
hold on.
Oh,
6. So.
oh, that's a 1. You got.
Okay, all of them count. Anyway, 16. Yeah,
Oh, damn, that's a lot of 1s in that
I
roll.
know.
You don't notice any sounds per se, but you do notice that only a few windows are illuminated. That helps at all.
Okay.
But then again, this time of night, there could be lights out. You don't know.
Okay.
But
Fine. I'm gonna move.
you don't. Yeah, there's no need for the searches or anything like that right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna move 6 more meters further south.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Moore.
Okay. Get to the corner here and then kind of do a search before moving forward, just as long as there are no more militiamen walking around. Nice. Positive wild die. I got a 3 for positive wild die, so it's 28.
You notice a single silhouette over here, but it doesn't appear to be a guard. It looks like another civilian of some type. It's got like a cowboy hat on. And it appears to be moving northward. You probably can't see it, but it's off to the west of you. So.
Okay. So I'm gonna then continue further south. 3 more meters, and then once it lights up, then 3 more meters again.
So 3 more meters. So you're technically moving 3 more meters.
Yes. 3, yeah, there you go. Is there any signage on this building?
Yeah, you've rounded the corner. This is the marshal's office
Okay.
where you're at, and across the street's the other part of the reserve barracks.
Okay. Are there any?
You've arrived to your destination.
Okay.
You don't currently see or hear anything around you. If you wish to investigate the office
Yeah.
and or barracks, now would be the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look through all the windows that are any window that doesn't have a shade on it. I'm gonna look in to see if there's
All right.
anyone in.
Go ahead and give me one for the marshal's office.
Okay. Oh, positive wild die. 28 plus 3, I guess that's what it is.
30. You see no lights whatsoever
In the marshal.
on the inside of the marshal's office,
Awesome.
nor do straining your eyes. Now, glancing over to the barracks, if you want to give a roll of barracks.
25.
25. You notice minimal amounts of inhabitants in the barracks,
Okay.
meaning that this is a facility that's probably housing 20 people in each building. You maybe a good fraction of that, a quarter of that.
Okay. So this is the main barracks, correct? The one I'm pinging.
That's a reserve barracks. The main barracks is at if you were going for town from where the Coochie Clatch was. The main barracks is there. That's where the big depot is. This is like for the town militia.
I see.
Oh, so yeah, I guess it'd be more like about 10 people in each building, so 20 people total. Is probably about. Town militia's got 2 people that you encountered on the street. Yeah, it's got like a handful of contingent. All in all, you know that there's nobody in the marshal's office, and the reserve barracks show minimal signs of inhabitants.
Excellent. So, since I've done what Doyle asked me to, I'm just gonna sneak back.
Yeah. Just give me one final sneak.
Sure.
All right, you make it back, no problem.
Awesome.
So you come back with your information. Mad Mark.
Yep.
Had to wake up, dude. I need to have you give me a roll. Now, when you're making your way into town, trickier to bypass stuff. You have one of 2 options of entering the area you need to. You can either come in from the north or the south. It's up to you which one you wish to try.
Well, which side would be closer to where we started?
Both of them are technically equidistant from your... It's just a matter of personal preference. Do you wish to come in from the north or the south?
I'll do the north.
Alright, but definitely need to give me a dexterity sneak roll.
I don't have a token to click on.
Oh. Give me one.
Whoopsie.
Why is it not removing the damn fog? You see yourself up in the northwest?
Yep.
Does everybody else see you up in the northwest?
See?
Oh my god. You rolled a 1 on that first die. Need to roll a negative wild die. Three result on the cheat sheet is you only count the 3 highest dies. Luckily, those were all 6s. So you had an 18. 18 is your base need to play with. Okay. You are creeping your way in, and you've managed to make it through a rocky section of town. You've climbed down the rocky ledge, creeped your way into a back alleyway. Once again, had to hop a fence to get in, but so far you haven't encountered any resistance. Now this is over towards the, it's past the loading dock area where Rusty works, and it's over towards the neck yard. And so far, straining your bionic ear, you hear minimal sounds of industrial machines, but you don't hear like the heavy constant chugging that you would normally hear, or the mechanical so you can move, choose your way accordingly. I think what's your movements of base 6.
I'm just gonna move here and check around on this corner. Roll. Is it search? What do I roll?
Actually, just speed it up. I'll let you know when you need to roll a search.
Okay.
Alright. So far, nothing. Just some dimly lit alleyways and a couple buildings. Real long building that's actually the cargo warehouse. Looks like it stretches on in the shadow.
This road just goes down?
Yeah, this is like a big warehouse.
Okay, and I'm going to that way.
Alright.
And do I know what this yard looks like? Is it actually like a fenced, like, yard? Or is it like...
Mech yard, it's got 2 machine shops, 1 repair center, and then past that is the big mech yard. It is supposedly, it's big and it's supposed to be to the east of this map, so. Look at those lovely shapes I'm making.
I know they're sweet trying.
That's fucking geometric right there.
Man, them mushrooms be kicking in, man. I'm seeing all kinds of shit.
Trying to make a motherfucking shit up in here.
He's trying to make motherfucker shit his pants off.
Is this an alley right here? Oh,
Yeah.
No, is this part of a building?
Yeah.
Shove myself into this part of this building if I need to.
Stop in there.
What's that? Is that a tree?
Yeah, as you round the corner, you just start to see. I guess it's their Greenpeace equivalent of protesting industrialization. They managed to put like a little mini park up there. It's got like a couple planted trees and a little place to sit, rocks, and looks like the rocks might have some inscribing on. Could be like dedication plaques of some kind, whatever. Zoom in with your eyeball and that's what it looks like. It's basically just so-and-so Johnson's Park or whatever, found so-and-so.
If I had time, I would do more, but I don't have time, unless I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna move this way.
Right when you get about there, you picking a little bit of disturbance up on your augmented hearing. It's kind of like radio feedback sound. What was your initial search roll? Was an 18?
Yeah, that was my initial sneak.
Yeah, you get a squelch in your ear.
Like, approaching me? Or...
No, it's just like radio feedback.
So there's just, so it's
You
just
you have a
somebody-
okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a security roll.
Oh, is that intelligence?
They have a master skill list in the party handout. Should you see? Security is an aptitude. Yeah, aptitude. Then 3 skill dice.
Yep.
Yeah, you've heard the squelch before. And also like vibration frequency detectors, so there must be some kind of security that you're approaching.
It cut out from me like halfway through.
Oh, you've definitely had this feedback before approaching electronic security, like motion sensors, fucking vibration detectors, and stuff like that. So this sounds a little too familiar. And it started as you were.
Can I roll another, like, search to, like, pinpoint around and try to find where it's coming from?
Well, it's coming from southward into the darkness. If you want to, yeah, I can give you a guesstimation.
Like a search roll or just...
Could be another.
security?
Because security is made for lane, so bypassing. First one, 4, it's ready.
Square got me worried for a second.
Moderate, almost difficult. You would know that it was due south of you within 1 move, and probably a little bit to the west of that position. You got a move of base 6, so yeah, it's roughly within 1 move. One move south. Its detection radius on most of the motion, probably about half that, so it's probably got like a three square radius around it.
I'll still just move this way.
Yeah. Motion detectors are a pain in the ass. You have to actually, like, if you wanted to role play, you could like start belly crawling and try to sneak past it, to bypass it, and stuff like that.
I'm just not gonna do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And you start to see the shadow of a big building over to the east.
Well, there's nowhere else for me to really... I guess... Could I, like, get out my sniper rifle and see a bit farther?
Where are you trying to look?
this way.
Yeah, you can give me a search roll, see what you can make out in the darkness. Be intelligence and search, and then you have a bionic eyeball, which would give you a +3 bonus to visual searches. So that would be the final when it says modifier. Put the 3 in there. They rolled a 1. Oh, damn. So 4, you keep the top 4 dice, which is 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 8, 13, 16. You can definitely see a building this over to the east. So you're definitely in the right neighborhood.
Like no people or anything?
No, not you can see, no.
Do I recognize this building?
Yeah, it's one of those machine shops. The mech repair station and stuff like that should be to the south of it. Now, in between the two of those is usually a big passageway that leads into the backyard. May move. Right. Go ahead and give me another search for audio, which is +3 bonus off of it.
Search?
Yes, please. $32. Oh shit. You start to pick up on your ear. It basically telescopes outward. You can start hearing the distinct sounds of what sounds like metal on metal, and people having a conversation of some kind. And it is coming from. Can you see my direction arrow?
Yep. That
Yeah, it's coming down from the southwest.
And I would know that this path continues this way?
Yeah. If you actually at the end, give you access to look into the mech yard.
Does it sound like these people are approaching me, or are they just staying where they are?
Distinct sounds. It sounds like, and they just seem to be holding some kind of exasperated conversation of some kind. You can't quite make out the words, but you definitely enough to, as your ear scopes in, you can hear like, oh, somebody's in the distance. You know,
And they're just kind of holding where they are?
yeah, it's just remaining a static distance. Yeah.
Alright then.
You're going to move, or
Yeah. Right there.
right. The sounds are getting a little bit louder as your ear remains telescoped outwards and trying to pick in mini satellite dish or whatever the hell. Sounds like somebody's angry at something, and you hear the clanging, and you hear a ratcheting sound accompanying the clanging sounds, and it sounds like people are just aggravated at not being able to do something. But you may give me a search roll for glancing into the shadow area. Is the mech yard, because it's got the big fences, big reinforced steel X-graded fence.
Oop, I put 4. Should be. It's just 1 less than that. It's at 24.
24. You look and peer through your eyeball, bionic eyeball. Does a little squiggly infrared thing. You do not see any mechs beyond this gate.
And then can I turn and look the other way to see if I can see any further to see where these voices are coming from?
Let me figure out distance for the difficulty. Yeah, you can give me a roll. Does my ruler mark disappear in the dark, or can you see it?
No, can see it.
Okay, roughly about that far away in the shadows. Silhouette.
Oh, it's the same. So. There we go. Does it look
And
to
it
be...
basically looks to be 2 silhouettes. One there, one there. This one looks big and bulky, but it's definitely bulkier. And this one over here appears to be swinging something and clanging on something really big. And augmenting your audio search, basically refine the broadband. You start picking up words like going, lousy fucking thing. You know, it's like going, try not to get stressed. Just clang, 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 and ratchet sounds and stuff like that. Sounds like somebody's trying to get something working or fixed.
Gonna try to stick, but also try to get a bit closer. Oh, my Wi-Fi is dying.
Oh no!
I know, and it's gonna continue beeping until I plug it in, so I'm gonna do that.
Save me, Fleur.
Got it.
I give you my internet. Save me.
Not good internet, though.
Oh shit. Distracted. Fuck. 1, 1, 3. You get about there, like I said, you notice big bulky thing just outside the shadows. It's a guard of some type. Yeah, I'll be nice since you got it within 1 square. I'll put this over your character for a second.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Appears to be just standing at, not really at ease, but kind of like a semi-relaxed attention, just surveying the scene around him, in front of him. And just underneath him appears to be another shadowy figure of some kind. Can't quite make out what not a bulky one.
Is that like one of the like normal?
That looks more like, as opposed to town militia made up of residents, which is your town guard equivalent. That would be like your town conscript. That would be an actual member of the military.
Okay.
You know, it is conceived, like I said, they have stated that they have a handful of people left behind.
Yeah.
but he has a tumbler rifle, which is an assault rifle, mounted with a bayonet. And he looks like he has a bandolier of assorted stuff, ammo packs, and a couple bulky things.
Do we want to go into this thinking maybe they have one still left behind? I mean, if they've got one and we've got one. And they're not in this yard, so.
Said someone's banging on something. It sounds like they're trying to. They're getting exasperated.
I'm not gonna get any closer. If anything, I'm gonna get further away.
Okay, talk about for a second. Hero.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head back at this point. This is all he wanted me to do, right? Just check to see if they have any in their yard.
Did you check to see it and you didn't see any?
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't see any, they're not there, right?
Well, this might be one, but I'll also tell them they might have one, and if they do, it might also be broken.
That'll be a fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
There might be one.
Might be broken.
Might, eh?
But, I mean, they have one, we have one. If they have one and their one isn't broken.
That was a good pee.
Sure, let us listen to it.
I will next time if you want.
No, that's okay. We get enough of that with Ball.
I don't know. It's not like I'm like Zeke and I can just take off the robotic part of my face and be a normal civilian again.
You are smart enough to know that you're not supposed to be in this area, too.
Yeah, also that.
Like I said, the big bulky guy in armor with the assault rifle is just standing in front of him. So far, right now, casual guard duty.
Is he facing my direction? Or is
No,
he
he's facing the other way.
Okay, then I will
He's
get,
facing out towards the west.
get here. Try to hide mostly behind this corner and look.
Well, the new guy's dead.
Oh
I
shit!
mean, I figured as much.
It's close enough. You see in the shadows, it looks like it's a big open area, and it looks like maybe steps go down further to the west. Can you actually see anything right here? Can't quite see this dude. But I'll go ahead. You see the arm of what looks to be a mech, and it's on the ground. And adjacent to it from the north is this guy. He's dressed up in your typical town militia, but he also has a badge on his chest. This could be Deputy Bryce, who was the one that was left in charge. He is currently working on a mech with another individual, it looks like. And it appears that they were the ones beating and ratcheting on the mech itself. And from that distance, you can start picking up conversations. To be like, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. We're going to be here all night. Rest easy, Mr. Bryce. Says, don't worry, we'll have it fixed. Says, we damn well better. We're left with our asses hanging out. Says, if anyone tries to come in here, he says, we're going to, we have to put up one hell of a fight. It's okay. We'll get it done. He's like, yeah, let's go on. He says, let's burn the midnight oil. Keep on doing it. Starts ratchet, clang, 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 clang. So far, they don't appear to notice you.
Yeah, and Mark immediately thinks, I could take a shot from right here. Possibly take him down.
Oh god.
If I do this, and they fucking know that I've been here, Harry will fucking have my head on a platter. What's left of it.
And just because you are close. To you guys,
Oh man, that's the mech.
Cool. Wow.
yeah, that's what the mech looks like.
Is that a higher grade, like military mech?
Yeah, it's got the big Marshall star on the side of it. Definitely. It's made for military. But like I said, the arm's off of it. They're currently working on it.
Which arm?
The one that's got the Gatling gun.
Oh, alright. I've seen what I need to see. Time to head back.
Alright, give me one last stealth roll to get back.
Alright.
Don't you fuck it up.
No, I'll fuck it up just because you told me not to.
Don't you.
You can't tell me what to do.
Don't you do it.
You can't tell me what to do.
He's Mad Mark.
Okay,
Oh,
You got a 1.
Oh no.
And I got a 2. Good.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
What's 2? 2 is only 2 high dice.
Okay, that's good.
Whoa.
12, 1 shy. Gonna roll a die 100 for threat severity of what you.
Okay.
You're making your way, getting back to where the fence is, getting ready to try and hop it.
Halt! 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 Halt!
Hear someone screaming from the distance behind you.
Run.
Nah, fuck that. Jump the fence.
And you can't quite see what it is because you're in your mind, you're in stealth mode, but you definitely hear it shouting from behind you. If you wish to try and hop the fence and outrun them, you can attempt to do that.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. Trying to good one because climb is just getting over the fence.
I also don't have that.
Give me an athletics roll, which is dexterity based.
I don't have that either.
That'd just be 0 skill dice then.
Yep. Cool. A 13 with the 1 of the
Oh
good at doing that.
shit.
And a 2.
9.
Oh god.
You
So it's a
clamber.
9.
Yeah, you throw your rifle over it, and as you go to slide down, it basically catches the crotch of your pants and slits up the leg. And for a moment, you're hanging upside down, and you get gashed a little bit. And then you start to hear, "I said halt! I said halt!" You can hear the cocking of a rifle.
Good for you.
And then you fall to the ground. We're going to do an initiative.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick up my rifle. I'm gonna take a shot back. I'm gonna start the fight.
God.
Okay, who's this guy? There's always the chance if you beat initiative, you can fucking spend all your actions to run away. You would have to try to get over the fence.
I'm gonna.
Because
first
currently there's between the two of y'all. So.
Is it like a gate wire fence that I could actually take a shot through?
No, it's actually like picketed, reinforced picketed.
Okay. Then
So
yeah,
it's like
if
solid
I beat
plank.
initiative, I'm just gonna run.
Ooh.
Initiative roll, right?
Yeah, initiative roll.
I win.
So you, like I say, you snagged across your pants, gash your leg up. Luckily, you don't lose a ball because I don't think they make bionic ones. You hear halt, halt, the cocking of a rifle as you fall to the ground.
Oh, fuck me. And I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna use all 4 actions that I have to run.
Okay. Picking up your rifle, I would hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so all 3 actions.
Yeah, pick up my rifle and then 3 actions
And
to run.
for all intensive purposes, you manage to haul ass back, and you can hear the sounds of someone fidgeting with the fence. But by the time you get to a point to stop and catch your breath, you notice that you don't see anything immediately around you. So probably head back.
That was a great battle. Best battle.
Man versus fence. Fence versus balls. Man barely
win.
wins.
I win. It doesn't matter how barely you win, as long as you win.
You two make it back. Rusty will be back at the camp as well. It's been an hour. You all to relay your information. Harry's there, of course, immediately asks, "What did you find out?"
They got maybe 1 mech, and from the way it's looking, the mech ain't working.
The marshal.
Gives a good hard. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The marshal's out too, and not many militia.
Deputy's still in though.
Yeah, they said Bryce would still be here, but he's a dipshit.
He ain't no mechanic either.
Yeah, we hope. There's one battered mech. What did you say, Zeke? So the sheriff's out? Are you gonna say anything about the soldier?
Yeah. The marshal's out, and the barracks are very few people in them. The town had maybe 2 to 3 people, 2 to 3 militia guards just patrolling.
And we got, when I was in there, saw one of their big iron helmets. Might have some real military men up in here. Not a whole lot of them.
Braddock's men's been known to be mean. I wouldn't put it past them. Wish I knew how many, but the fact that he's not here and the mechs ain't either. For the first time ever, you heard Harry chuckle. He goes, "Huh, might just fucking work." Of course, Mingo immediately saunters up, trying to take praise of stuff. Are you going to relay any? First, you actually saw, like, describe it or anything?
Who was that? Ian? Missed that.
was saying before I started with Mingo, real quick, were you going to relay any information about the mech, about what you saw?
Yeah. Tell him it's a high grade one. Arms off though.
It's got any weapons on it?
Big guns. Gatling. One that's off though.
Did the guys fixing it seem to know what they were doing?
You're very confident.
So we might have a Gatling mech then.
Chances are they probably won't. But better plan for it either way.
How far is that Gatling mech from where the trail is that the stagecoach should be coming down on?
Oh, it's in the back of town. As far as the coach, it all depends. You'll have to survey an spot. But if they manage to get word to them, it could conceivably be there in time if it was functioning.
And Mark is going to turn to Rusty and he's going to go, and if they got their high-grade military mech, I don't think your little bucket of bolts is going to stand a whole lot of a chance.
Sir, it's called the Rust Bucket, and it demands your respect. Anyways, like you said, that little, military-grade vehicle probably won't be up and running, right?
Still better plan for it.
How many weeks is the stagecoach out?
This is the second day, so got roughly 4 or 5 days total.
But I guess one mech is better than no mech, huh?
Well, no, in this case, we wanted them to have no mech and not one.
No, we got one mech.
Four or 5
Harry,
days.
thanks for a minute. I wish we knew about the coach. I'm assuming it's a standard armored transport. Not sure who's running the security detail. Still, though, it's not too hard to crack one of them racing turtle shells.
Dicky can crack anything,
And,
boss.
Yeah, Mark just gestures with his head towards Fumbles.
Oh, hey, I can crack it open. You might not like the way I do it, though.
Might just have to go out in the desert and find ourselves a good spot to lay an ambush.
Sounds like a plan.
And Mingo's trying to soak up like a peacock all the praise for everything. He's like, hey, you see, I got this for you. He says, it's all laid out on a golden platter, just like Thanksgiving. He says, all you have to do is devour the turkey and take all the shinies inside, and we all be rich men.
Well, hold your britches, boy. We ain't got it yet.
Yeah, you could drop it on the way to the table.
Mingo, all you got is just turkey. Just because you found a wagon doesn't mean that we have a wagon.
Baptiste, he just like kind of slinks in, and he's just like going, yeah, but it shouldn't be no trouble at all. Climb on board of it, wiggle around and pry it open, especially with the skills we got. I could say a prayer if you wanted me to. Pray to the Loa, they would grant us strength.
Hey, Baptiste, you see that cactus over there? Go wiggle on it.
Oh, Baptiste don't mind a little prick or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go on, Baptiste. Pray to the Lord and then wiggle on that.
I'd have to agree with Zeke here.
Says, come on, boss. It sounds good. should do it. Give Bingo a chance. You know he's doing nothing but looking out for us. We're all a happy little fam.
Baptiste, I don't think you know what the word happy means.
Baptiste, always.
I'll be happy when we actually got the money.
Doyle's like, worst we can do is go out in the desert. Find somewhere else to go.
Worst we can do is go out and try to get this thing and get shot and die.
I cheat death every day. I'm not afraid of nothing.
Better get shot down and starve to death.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. New guy, see what your mech can do.
Zeke
Roger that, sir.
turns to Rusty and says, "You seem to be a man of science. Are you not, Rusty?"
A man of science. I'll tell you what, I have a degree.
Degree in what? Bullshit?
Can I wipe my ass that piece, baby? Where you got it at, boy? We ain't
You
had two
can-
people in a long time.
I refuse to let you see it, okay?
So you think your mech can dig a big trench?
My mech can do anything. I'll have it done within an hour. Or 2, maybe 3. It'll definitely be done.
Mr. Doyle, if we maybe dig a trench, hide it, and then have Rusty Rust Bucket here hit that stagecoach from the flank, maybe we stand a chance.
He looks at you with a stare. Then he goes, "We need to pick a spot first." I say, "Everyone drink up. We'll go out in the morning and look for sights." Go and see what you want to do.
So Zeke, you're saying instead of busting the turtle open, we flip it on its back?
Yeah, something like that. Because I think there are going to be men inside it. Flip it on its back. Those men are going to be knocked out.
I think it's a good plan.
Buckshot's like, "I fucking hope there's men inside of it." It'll, give him a kiss, and he cocks his auto shotgun.
You gonna give him a kiss, Buckshot?
I'm with you there, and he just like drags a thumb down the throat of his rifle.
Buckshot looks at you almost like Dick Envy because yours is longer than short and fat. But he just like going, he says, "No, don't take no offense there, Annabelle." Kisses the barrel of his gun. But he pretty much settles it. You just get the new guy a drink, pass around the whiskey bottle, and Mark's a shower, not a grower. But Cookie managed to make it into with Sinclair, and y'all managed to get what supplies y'all could afford. As to the next morning, Doyle kicks everybody awake early, so if you tied on one too long last night, you're really going to be hurting. But he wants to be out and about surveying. Y'all spend most of the day looking for sites, and I already rolled his tactics roll. He manages to find 2 spots along the typical route that the stagecoach takes that would be ideal for potential ambushes. This is where things get a little tricky. Probably be where we end stuff as we plan it. The first site is here.
Mm.
Hmm.
Do we know which way the coach would come from here?
Nice.
Oh, I like
Coming in
that.
from the
Nice.
northwest.
Nice.
We need to see the second one, but I like that because that's a lot of over here.
Now you
Lot
could
of cover.
theoretically split the gang up.
Hmm.
Um,
I think we go all in one site and just try to take care of it.
Zeke has some
Easy.
ideas. Can we look at the second set?
Because then they're on edge, you know. Like if we fuck up the first time, they're on edge for the second one.
Now, seeing how we have 2 weeks, I can, if you want to, I can email or do it on Discord. I can pop the images up, and y'all can make notations on it. Now, if you have your own ideas, you can color code. I think if you can, I don't know if you can match your fucking text
Yeah, you can.
to whatever color your squares are. That easy or
Do like
not?
this? You mean like this?
But you can. But ideally, if you make a spot like an X or whatever, and then make some kind of notations. That, or I can just post the images on Discord, and then y'all can do that if y'all have any kind of graphics program. Basic paint even works for that. But this is the first site, which is where he thinks would be an ideal spot for an ambush, and then just a little ways to the east of it is this location. Now, these racing turtles are called racing turtles for a reason. Once they get up and going, they can haul some. So he thinks that if you don't manage to hit it and quit it within this range, these 2 maps, it's most likely going to outrun and outpace you.
I think first map.
Yeah.
Just because of that
Yeah,
bend,
yeah,
it's
the
going to have
first
to
one.
turn.
Yeah,
That's
they're gonna have to slow
smash
down
the fuck
along
out of
the
it.
turn. Yeah.
So Zeke's gonna say, you see that bend there? If we split our group and have some of them chase the turtle, make it look like bandits are on their ass, they're not gonna slow down for that bend. They're not gonna have time to see what's around the bend. There could be a trench there. The mech could come at it from the side. A lot of
I'm
options.
thinking when they get slow. I'm thinking when they get slow with that bend, we just hit them with the mech, knock them right over.
Well, the thing is this: if they come at the bend really fast because they think they're being chased, and then you hit them, they have a higher tendency to fall over.
I doubt they're going to go any faster because horses are behind them. They're going to outrun horses, probably no problem.
That's true. Do we know what that stagecoach looks like? No, right?
Mm, up in the northwest corner.
Shit, that's exactly what it looks like
Yeah,
with the Gatling gun.
yeah. Most of them are equipped with a Gatling gun. It's an armored
Oh,
transport.
I see. Okay, so I was kind of picturing an actual like stagecoach that is being drawn by like some sort of mechanized horses or mechanized.
Well, standard ones are independent. They have a 4-wheel chassis.
No, that whole thing is not going to work. I see.
Knocking it over would be the best idea, I think.
But can your rust buckets handle that, Rusty?
Is it reasonable to say yes or no?
I think the
Heavy
real
you
question
do heavy
is,
damage. If you could get a hold of it, you could probably pull and crack it open.
I'll tell you what, if I can get a hold of it, I could probably crack it open.
Hey, you're echoing, and
It's really weird. The echo sounded like James from Pokemon.
Okay. Hey, Dickie, you think you can time your explosives?
You want me to use my dynamite? We ain't gonna have nothing left.
I think if we can crack it open, then Buckshot and I can take a few shots. Whatever, whoever is inside.
Nah, Dickie, not to blow it open, to stop it. You blow the dynamite in front of it. It has to stop to figure out what's the next best way to go.
I don't know. Harry always tell me to be careful with my explosives. I don't know if I want to ask him what he think about all that.
It's possible to blow a trench too.
Blow a big fucking hole in the road and see what happens, I guess,
Blow
maybe.
a hole here, blow a hole there.
I only have one stick. Or one set of sticks. So we gotta pick where we want that hole to be.
God damn it.
And we need to get the fuck away from it also, because that's gonna be massive.
Or we could dig a trench. We could have the rust bucket dig a trench right there. So even if it does get past this, it falls into this hole, or has to go around it at least.
How don't we push some of these fucking rocks around and in the way? If the rust bucket can do that.
We can do that too.
Smaller rocks you could probably relocate, yeah.
Fucking hole. I mean, anything that messes up its wheels and tires and some holes, we'll just put a whole bunch of. We'll just turn it into a fucking obstacle course.
Yeah,
We'll test out
vehicles are harder to road.
Yeah. Test out the fucking suspension on that bitch and see how well it does when it's got to hit like 13 potholes and a bunch of rocks on the road.
And then at the end, we just dig one big trench, so even if it gets past all that, it just falls headlong into that.
Or just put the dynamite here and say fuck it and blow a hole there or something that's random if it gets past all that. We could also just have the mech standing in the middle of the fucking road and see who wins. Play chicken.
I mean, probably the Gatling gun.
No, I'll stick my leg out. It's like I'm trying to hitch a ride, you know?
Well, he's got to hit you first with the Gatling gun. I mean, he's probably not whoever's gunning that's probably not a fucking slouch, but they're gonna be shaking and jerking all over the fucking place. So we'll see.
See your else characters real quick, and I'll do a quick averages. Engineering is what, an aptitude roll?
It sure is.
8 dice. 6 dice. And 7 dice. Yeah, the Gatling gun, standard issue is a Viper low recoil autocannon. It's made for its anti-personnel.
So if you want to do
so it would do reduced damage against the mech, because the mech is a heavy obstacle.
Yeah. Okay.
there you go, man. Just stay in the middle of the fucking road and take it on if it gets past our little booby trap.
But in turn, its armor is heavy. Its weapons would it would soak up twice as much damage from y'all's personal weapons.
So it would probably be better to put the mech maybe like here, and just have it grab it and crack it open as soon as we can.
I think we put it further back and have them work through, because I think we want to put as many. We want to jostle those fuckers around, so you put as many obstacles in the way as possible that maybe they can get around if the guy driving does well, and then you leave the mech at the very end, so they're fucking hassled. We're all around. We've put them through hell because we're not just standing around while this is going on, and then they have to go through a mech before they get past the road.
Yeah,
seeing how there's
closer, like right here.
Yeah.
Seeing how there's other people in the gang, I really want y'all to your own strategy, but there's the option too of burying the mech in the sand as a surprise. Granted, he would have to try to operate it and get it up on its feet and stuff.
Yeah, man, it's called a
Yeah.
rust bucket, not the dirt bucket. Come on.
There's the option if you try stage, you could try to pick off drivers or people inside with snipers set up on the stage.
Yeah, like because there's the I think
Because
this is a raised area over here.
yeah, because
think
no
it's good
inhabitants equates to ability that or it just fucking runs over into the desert and fucking flips.
Yeah, I could be up there and I could try to get shots on.
Take the mech and throw a big ass rock at him or something. I don't know.
That too.
No, just try to catch the fucker. We get one of the wheels off, it's fucked.
Just throw a big rock at it and then grab it if the rock doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree setting some spot to get a hold. Be cool because otherwise you're just going to be clanging behind it. So you would probably want to bottle it or slow it down to where the mech is
I
one
feel like
option.
we're setting up a really intricate match of like one of those old like reality TV shows where people would build the little robots and they would fight.
Yeah, I think we move some stones and rocks around to where they have to come one way and they're forced to take the mech on. 'Cause that's our ace in the hole. They don't know that we have that.
Yeah.
Like when this kicks off, it's like, okay, this is a bunch of fucking dudes with horses and and guns kicking around, so whatever. And then they have to drive. It's like, okay, they set up traps. Oh shit, it's a mech. All right.
But I think setting up like the sniper and putting people in areas where it will let them use their abilities to like the highest degree is also useful. Like trying to get people out of the vehicle before it gets to the mech. Like if we can take it down, we want to use that mech as the last thing. If
I
we
want
can
to
take
try
it
to
down
get a
before it gets
Molotov
there,
in the fucking wind, in the like if there's any little slits, because they have to have slits to look out of. I'm gonna try to get a fucking Molotov in there, or smash it up against the side so it blows up in the hole.
with a sniper, I could take out drivers because they gotta be able to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a rule on coverage. It's kind of a nasty rule. It's every 10% covered plus 2 to their dodge result.
Oh wow.
And so but they balance it by saying if you have 100% cover, then you can't attack because you're totally behind something. That being,
If you have 100% cover, you aren't putting your arm out to shoot.
yeah. That being said, in my mind, if I see a gun like that on top of something as a heavy gunner thing, like a tank gunner, where they have the big shield in front, and if you get behind him, he's vulnerable.
It's like a riot gunner.
Yeah.
I'm hitting him with a fucking Molotov.
Now the inside shooters, if they have any or guards like that, could be pretty difficult to hit, and the drivers too. You would have to really set up and get a decent shot in. That or like Zeke said, if you can get something inside the cab, be like a 1,000,001 fucking money shot.
Well, I mean, with all of us taking shots at the driver or trying to get something inside, we gotta have a chance to do something.
Yeah, because even a Molotov will cause loss of visibility and shit like that too.
I might try to make a smoke pot or something and throw it in front of him.
You know how them escape from the road.
Yeah, getting a smoke pot inside there would be great because they wouldn't be able to see with it.
Well, I don't know about getting inside it, but I could probably get it on the thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Even the possibility of a smoke pot in front of it to make it deploy whatever defense it has, and mech on the other side of the smoke ball.
Were those tires on it?
Ooh, that would be
Or
good
were
too.
they like tracks that it had?
It's a treaded reinforced solid rubber tile with metal underneath. So basically, if the rubber wears away, it's still got the treads of the rim underneath.
That would be a good idea too, to put the smoke pots right in front of the mech. So even if it gets that far, the smoke pots go off and the mech is still like a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
As to the time of day, if this thing runs on time, like supposed to be. It's going to be late morning to early afternoon, so no real chance of a nighttime ambush.
So we'll be working with bushes and other cover to stay hidden then.
Mm-hmm.
Could we not force a nighttime ambush? Is it running 24/7? Like, is it running all night, all day?
If it's on schedule like it's supposed to be, it will be running through this neck of the woods early morning.
We could potentially slow its
Yeah.
schedule down.
It would be very difficult.
We lose the element of surprise too. I think it comes down to we hit this thing hard, fast, one fucking time, and if we fail, we fail. If we put everything into this area, and they're not ready. Like,
If we fail, we blame Mingo.
exactly, it's a win-win.
That works.
No, I think we hit this hard as fuck here. Just all our eggs
Yeah.
in one basket. Mac is the last resort. Smoke pots everywhere. Try to take out as much as we can. Fuck with them beforehand. Do some damage, and then if the mech can't do it, then it was not meant to be. Because I don't know how else
If
we'd
the
fucking
mech can't
stop
do
it.
it, then we wouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
Hey,
No,
Rusty,
probably not.
do you think you could fix that other mech that those guys are trying to fix?
I'm not sure if we have enough time, but of course I could.
Is that fixed with quotation marks?
I can definitely get it moving.
Like that?
Oh no, I
Fixed?
mean really fix it. Because if that thing is,
Wait, what do you mean? Oh,
The
is my
mafia
fix not
quote
good enough?
fix.
You're saying my work's not going to be good enough? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you
fix it to
could
break it.
go in and you could remove the other arm by accident.
By accident. What? Just happened to fuck this mech up after someone fixed it.
Oh shit! I knocked his other arm off. God damn it!
No.
I think we're gonna
I'm
have to.
saying
We got a plan for that shit too. Maybe that'll be where the dynamite comes in case that fucking thing's around here.
so. How many people were there at that depot?
I only saw 2.
So we could go in there a day before, and if the mech is operational, steal it.
Mm,
I mean, if you can get in the mech, make it operational, and get in it, I mean, it'd be cinch getting out.
did Mad Mark explain that he probably didn't because he didn't want to look like shit? But did he explain that he was seen?
No, I didn't mention that at all.
Okay,
No, but
then I can't even bother with.
it is somewhat apparent that the crotch of his pants is
Yeah,
red.
yeah, but I could have just
You
marked
could
that
have
up
went to the
being-
coochie clench.
I could have just marked that up to me being like, yeah, I'm a fucking clumsy idiot, and I got my fucking pants snagged as I was trying to get out.
But we don't know that place could be on high alert, so there you go. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, we don't know, man. It'd still be a thing we'd throw out, right?
yeah, it would. If we don't know, we wouldn't worry about it.
Rusty. Wow, you have no search skill.
I don't search. I have a degree.
So
I get other people to search for me. Come on.
Give me an
I'm sorry, what?
intellect roll.
Gotcha.
It's technically your search skills being used, but since you don't have any skill dice in search,
I don't search. I have a degree.
I need a token. Oh, wait, did you put it already? Or no?
Ooh.
That ain't good, boss.
It could have been worse.
You would guess maybe a dozen people you've seen off and on inside the city or inside the town, as far as guards go.
like militia guards or like
Stronger
military?
stronger ratio of militia to conscript. Militia is your common folk. Conscripts are your trained.
So people who have been like, hey, can you pick up a gun? Cool. Now you are guarding the town.
Yeah, your militia is your townsfolk that are recruited in. They're not official deputies. They serve the town guard for protection. Now, conscripts are ones that are officially drafted in military type service. But Rusty, you figure you off and on, you could just, if you were to guesstimate, maybe a dozen people.
What if during like the earliest of the morning when we like on the day that the convoy is coming through, we send like 4 people in, and like I guess that wouldn't work because you would need Rusty, and both plans would need Rusty.
Every plan needs Rusty. Come on.
Yeah. Well, it's because for one we need Rusty to pilot the mech, and for the other one we need Rusty to fix the mech, and then somebody else could figure it out. Or they could not figure it out, and then they could like completely destroy the mech, and then the mech is gone, and we don't have to worry about it.
I mean, it didn't sound like we needed to worry about it last night.
Yeah, according to our guy, it's fucking long ways off from being working, yeah?
Well, the arm's off, and I still said that we should plan for it.
Should we plan for you if you didn't have an arm? I don't know, you know?
I don't know. People already stopped planning for me when I lost half my face, and now look at all those people. They're dead.
A good point.
Zeke says, I want to take a look at the depot again. If we can have a second mech, that changes things, don't you think? We have 4 days.
You're gonna try to go in.
I'm tempted.
You're gonna volunteer and try to go.
I ain't gonna do it.
Did you mention anything about the sensor?
Oh yeah, if he's like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna be like, well, watch out for these motion sensors that are probably like right around this area, because I didn't actually see them, because I didn't care that much.
Dickie can go with you because Dickie got a plan.
Dickie's just gonna put some dynamite in the mech and be like, all
Yeah.
right, let's go now.
That's pretty much the plan.
Look, the mech's got a micro penis and it's lit.
Let's get out of here.
Cool. You want me to stop the recording now?
Whoops, is that a stick of dynamite? Better leave.
What are you talking about, Rick? No, stopping.
He got some fiery dick on him. Look out! That's gonna blow big.
Yeah, it just winds down like some maps so y'all can give proposals as far as what y'all want to think, but we definitely need to put together some kind of tactic.
Cool. Alright, I'm going to stop the recording now.